Warm greetings to all students. So we are going to discuss about the lesson electrostatics. I am Dr. Krishnasamy, PGS10, Government Higher Secondary School, Alamadai, Tirunelveli District. So in the electrostatic lesson, we are going to discuss the concept and question answer in this lesson. What is frictional electricity? Frictional electricity is the electricity produced by rubbing two suitable bodies and transfer of electrons from one body to other. Here we have taken glass rod, then it is rubbed with the silk, then the glass rod becomes positively charged body and the silk becomes negatively charged body. Similarly, ebonite rod is rubbed with the fur, then the fur becomes positively charged body and ebonite becomes negatively charged body. So why it becomes positive negatively charged body? Because electrons in the glass are loosely bound in it than electron in silk. So when glass and silk are rubbed together, the comparatively loosely bound electrons from glass get transferred to silk. As a result, glass becomes positively charged and silk becomes negatively charged. Properties of charges. There exist only two types of charges, namely and positive and negative. Like charges repel and unlike charges attract each other. Charge is scalar quantity. Charge is additive in nature. Plus 2 coulomb, plus 5 coulomb, minus 3 coulomb becomes 4 coulomb. Charge is quantized. That is, electric charge exists in discrete packets rather than in continuous amount. It can be expressed in integral multiples of fundamental electronic charge. E is equal to 1.6 10 to the power minus 19 coulomb. That is, Q is equal to plus or minus N into E, where N is equal to 1, 2, 3, and so on. Charge is conserved. That is, the algebraic sum of positive and negative charges in an isolated system remains constant. Coulomb's law. Force between two point electric charges. The electrostatic force of interaction, that is attraction or repulsion between the 2-point electric charges, is directly proportional to the product of the charges and inversely proportional to the square of the distance between them and acts along the line joining the two charges. Strictly speaking, Coulomb's law applies to a stationary point charges. Here Q1, Q2 are the 2-point charges separated by a distance r. Then the force between the two charges is directly proportional to Q1, Q2 and inversely proportional to r squared. So combining these two factors, we got F is proportional to Q1, Q2 by r squared, or F is equal to K into Q1, Q2 by r squared. Here K is positive constant of proportionality called electrostatic force constant or Coulomb constant. In vacuum, suppose there is a vacuum between the two charges. Here there is a vacuum, then the K value becomes 1 by 4 epsilon 0, where epsilon 0 is the permittivity of free space. Suppose there is a medium between the two charges, then K becomes 1 by 4 by epsilon, where epsilon is the absolute electric permittivity of the dielectric medium. The dielectric constant or relative permittivity or specific inductive capacity or dielectric coefficient is given by K is equal to epsilon r is equal to epsilon by epsilon naught. In vacuum, F is equal to 1 by 4 epsilon 0 Q1 Q2 by r square. In medium, F is equal to 1 by 4 by epsilon 0 epsilon r Q1 Q2 by r square. So epsilon 0 value becomes 8.854 10 to the power minus 12 Coulomb squared per Newton per meter square. Here 1 by 4 epsilon 0 will becomes 8.9875 10 to the power 9 Newton meter squared per Coulomb squared. Otherwise we can write 1 by 4 epsilon 0 is equal to 9 into 10 to the power 9 Newton meter squared per Coulomb squared. Electric field. Now like a magnetic field, When a magnet is kept, there will be a magnetic field around the magnet. No, similarly, electric field is a region of space around a charge or a system of charge within which other charged particles experience electrostatic force. Electric field strength or electric field intensity or electric field. Electric field strength at a point in an electric field is the electrostatic force per unit positive charge acting on a vanishingly small positive test charge placed at that point. Here we got plus Q is a source charge, plus Q0 is the test charge. It is kept certain distance, and there is a force experienced by a test charge. The force experienced by test charge is the electric field. So E vector is equal to limit delta Q tends to 0. So Fi delta Q, or E vector is equal to Fi Q0, that is force experienced by a test charge. That can be written as E vector is equal to 1 by 4 epsilon 0 Q by R squared R unit vector by substituting the value of F. The test charge is considered to be a vanishingly small because its presence should not alter the configuration of charges, and thus electric field which is intended to be measured. Electric field due to a point charge. The point charge plus Q is taken and is kept at the origin, and Q0 is the test charge is kept at the point in the xy coordinates P, X, Y, Z. Where R is the distance between the origin to the Q naught. Then there will be a force between the two charges. So then force will become F vector is equal to 1 by 4 epsilon 0 Q P naught divided by R squared into R unit vector. Then the R unit vectors can be written as R vector. If you write R vector, then you will have formula 1 by 4 epsilon 0 Q naught by R cube. R unit vector is written as R vector. Then the formula becomes Q naught by R cube. Electric field strength is E is equal to F by Q0, we know. Now substitute the value, then electric field strength of this plus Q charge will become 1 by 4 by epsilon 0 Q by R cube R vector. Otherwise we can write epsilon E vector is equal to 1 by 4 epsilon 0 Q by R square, like this we can write. Okay, now if you draw the graph between electric field and the square of the distance, then we will have the spherical symmetry. That is, the electric field due to a point charge has spherical symmetry. Then electric lines of force due to a pair of equal and unlike charges. Now here we are interested in the word dipole. The dipole is defined as the plus Q and minus Q. Equal and opposite charges are separated by a small distance, then it is called a dipole. Now we are having electric field lines due to a pair of equal and unlike charges. These are field lines, all are field lines of a dipole. And also, this white dotted lines shows the electric field area, the region. Then if the two charges are like charges, then the field lines will be like this. The field lines will be like shown in the diagram. Okay, electric dipole already we discussed. The electric field produced by dipole is known as dipole field. Electric dipole moment is a vector quantity used to measure the strength of the electric dipole. So if you want to measure the strength of the electric dipole, we have to find electric dipole moment. So the dipole already we defined, equal and opposite charges are separated by a small distance, then we will have the electric dipole P vector. Here P vector is equal to Q into 2D. One of the magnitude of the one of the vector, and 2D is the distance between the two charges. So magnitude of electric dipole moment is the product of the magnitude of either charge and the distance between the two charges. The direction is from negative to positive charges. The SI unit of P is coulomb meter. electric field intensity due to an electric dipole. So at a point on the axial line, electric field intensity of electric dipole at the point on axial line. So axial line is a line where joining the two charges, the line which the two charges are located. Here minus q and plus q are the two charges. Along the axis of this path we are having the point P. Then the point is lies distance of r from the center of this dipole. Okay, now there will be a electric field due to the point P, that plus q, and also minus point A at minus q. So the difference of electric field will be EP minus EA, that is electric field strength of this point P. So now normally we have to add, but the charges are, since the charges are opposite, then we will have this value. So the vectors A and P are collinear and opposite. Then we will have EP minus EA vector. So 1 by 4 epsilon 0 q by r square plus t squared I unit vector. So EB 1 by 4 epsilon 0 q by r minus t the whole squared. Here r plus t is calculated from the center. From the center, if you consider the point, we have to subtract. If you calculate this distance between plus q to this r, then we have to subtract this r by this distance. This distance is d. So subtract, we will have this formula. Then if you want to calculate the distance from the A, we have to add the t value, because from this to this one r, O to A will be d, then r plus t will becomes. Okay, now a total electric field strength that can be calculated by adding these two values, then the value becomes 1 by 4 by epsilon 0 2 PR by r squared minus d squared the whole square. If d value is very much less than r, then the formula becomes 2p by 4 epsilon 0 r cube. So electric field intensity due to an electric dipole will be 2p by 4 epsilon 0 r cube. Similarly, at the point on the equatorial line, so electric field intensity at the point on the equatorial line, here minus q plus q are the two charges are separated by the distance 2d. O is the midpoint, and from the midpoint we got the another point q, which are distance from the r. So now electric field due to minus q and electric field due to plus q will meet at the point q. Then there will be resultant field E. Okay. Now we can see the resultant of these two field will be the electric field strength due to the dipole. Okay. Now E1, from the E1 1 by 4 epsilon 0 q by r square plus t square, because the distance of plus q to this q will be this value. This is the hypotenuse of a triangle QOP. Now if you see the hypotenuse of this value, then you can have r squared plus d squared, that is written here. Similarly, this point A, due to the minus q charge, we will have u2 value. Then just we here see the diagram. Resultant will be sum of the two horizontal component E2 cos theta plus E1 cos theta, but the vertical component cancel each other because they act in opposite direction. So then the E value becomes E1 cos theta plus E2 cos theta. So the resultant net electric field intensity at the point Q will be sum of the two forces 4 pi epsilon 0 q by r square plus t squared and r square plus t squared 1 by 2, because this is the cos theta value. Okay, now q into 2d can be written as p, then 1 by 4 epsilon 0 p divided by r square plus t square whole power 3 by 2. So now if t is less than r, then E becomes P by 4 epsilon 0 r cube. So this is the direction of the electric field intensity at a point on the equatorial line due to a dipole is parallel and opposite to the direction of the dipole moment. Torque on electric dipole in on uniform electric field. Now we consider uniform electric field. Like uniform electric field, the lines are parallel. Now you keep the dipole minus q plus q are separated by a small distance, and there will be a dipole moment. The p moment will act on the dipole. The force acting on the plus q will be QE. The force acting the minus q will be minus QE. The force are along the different lines of action and constitute a couple. The dipole will rotate and experience a torque. Okay, torque is equal to electric force and distance, perpendicular distance. So now electric force torque tau is equal to QE and distance on the 2d sin theta. So now substitute the value 2QE t sin theta will come. So P is equal to 2dq, then we can write P sin theta, that can be written as tau is equal to P vector cross E vector. So the direction of the torque is perpendicular and into the plane containing P and E vector. The SI unit of torque is Newton meter. Now you see, this is the dipole, direction of dipole moment, this is the direction of the electric field, then the torque will act as in this direction. Okay. Case 1, if theta is equal to 0, that is electric field and dipole lies on the same direction, then tau becomes 0. If theta is equal to 90, then tau becomes PE, the maximum value. If theta is equal to 180, then tau is equal to 0. So the work done on electric dipole in uniform electric field. When electric dipole is placed in uniform electric field, it experiences a torque and to align in such a way to attain a stable equilibrium. Now a dipole is kept in the uniform electric field. Initially it is kept at theta 1 and finally it makes theta 2. The difference between theta 1 and theta 2 becomes t theta. So TW is equal to tau into t theta. Instead of tau, we substitute the value P sin theta. Then total work done, we can calculate integral theta to theta 1 P sin theta t theta. Now by integrating this value, we will have the PE cos theta 1 minus cos theta 2 after substituting the limits. If potential energy is arbitrarily taken 0 when the dipole is at 90, then potential energy in rotating up the dipole and inclining at an angle theta is U is equal to minus PE cos theta, because we have taken initially potential energy to calculate the theta will be 90 degree. So now if theta is equal to 0, then U is equal to minus PE, that is a stable equilibrium. Then if theta is equal to 90, then potential energy will be 0. Then if theta is equal to 180, then U will become PE, that is unstable equilibrium. Electric potential. Electric potential is a physical quantity which determines the flow of charges from one body to another. It is a physical quantity that determines the degree of electrification of a body. Electric potential at a point in the electric field is defined as work done in moving without any acceleration. A unit pass charge from infinity to that point against the electrostatic force irrespective of the path followed. Here we are having WAB is equal to this work done from A to B will be integral A E vector dot dl, then you substitute the value E, then Q naught by 4 epsilon 0 1 by RP minus 1 by RA, or we can write W, that's work done from A to B divided by Q naught will be Q by 4 epsilon 0 1 by Rp minus 1 by Ra. According to the definition, so that initially the distance is infinite. So work done to bring the positive charge from infinite to particular point. The particular point will be R. Infinite, Ra will be infinite. Okay. Now W infinite to B by Q naught is equal to Q by 4 epsilon 0, or that is equal to V. So now W infinite to P by Q naught is equal to V. This formula we obtained. So then that is written here. So the SI unit of electric potential is volt, or joule per coulomb, or Newton meter per coulomb. The SI unit of electric potential is given here. Okay, electric potential at a point is 1 volt if 1 joule of work is done in moving 1 coulomb charge for infinity to that point in the electric field. Okay, electric potential difference. Electric potential difference between any 2 points in the electric field is defined as work done in moving without any acceleration. A unit pass charge from one point to other against the electrostatic force irrespective of the path followed. So electric potential and potential difference is a small difference. That is potential. If you define potential, the discharge is spring from infinite to that particular point. Here potential difference is difference between the 2 points. Okay, the same method of solving the problem can be solving the potential difference can be done. Here A will not be infinite for a particular point. So we can have potential at point B minus potential at point A, that will be the delta V, then the formula becomes WAB by Q naught. Okay. Electric potential and potential are scalar quantities. Electric potential at infinity is 0. Electric potential near an isolated positive charge, if it is greater than 0, is positive, and that near an isolated negative charge is negative. Okay, electric potential T2 point charge. Now the point charge plus Q is taken, then electric field is acting along this direction. Q naught is a test charge spring to the plus Q, near to the Q. Now P is the point, here P is the point from the plus Q charge, source charge, and another point P you have taken, then here plus Q, the test charge is curved. The distance between source charge and the discharge will become S. Okay, now you consider the distance between the P and Q is dx, the small distance dx. Okay, now key 0 be the discharge placed at the point the distance x from the source charge plus Q. The force F is equal to Q0E is a radially outward and just to accelerate the discharge. To prevent this acceleration, equal and opposite force minus QE has to be applied on the discharge. Work done to move Q0 from P to Q through dx against QE is TW is equal to F dot dx. Work done, the expression. So here F, instead of F you substitute the Q0E, then dx. We can write it dw is equal to Q0E dx cos 180, because the angle will be 180. So we can have minus QE dx. So now substitute the value minus of Q by Q0 by 4 epsilon 0 x squared. So then E value becomes Q by 4 epsilon 0 x squared. Okay, now substitute the since E value becomes this value. Now work done to move Q0 from A to B, that is from infinity to R, is W infinity to P dW is equal to Q0 by 4 epsilon 0 x squared into dx. So now substitute the value, then we will have W infinity to P Q0 by Q by 4 epsilon 0 R, then the potential, this expression can be done as potential. So V is equal to Q by 4 epsilon 0 R. So now we got the formula: electric potential due to a single point charge is equal to Q by 4 epsilon 0 R. Then electric potential due to an electric dipole on the axial line. So since we already discussed in this video previously electric field due to dipole, the same method is adopted here. AB is the 2 point here, plus Q and minus Q are the two charges are kept at the point P and A respectively. Okay, now P is the point considered along the axial line of A and B. Okay, now from the center O, the distance of P is R. Now V potential, the potential due to the Q charge Q plus will be like this, because 1 by 4 epsilon 0 Q by R. So standard result, standard formula. Here R can be calculated by this distance plus Q. So total from the center it is R. Then from this distance center to P will be D. Then P to B will be R minus D. Similarly minus Q also can be calculated like this. So Vp Q minus 1 by 4 epsilon 0 minus Q R plus D, R plus D, then total value becomes Vp Q plus Vp Q minus, then total value sum of these two value. Then potential at the point P can be calculated 1 by 4 epsilon 0 P by R squared minus D squared. Okay, then at a point on the equatorial line, that is the electric potential at a point on equatorial line T2 dipole. Now the same dipole is taken and we consider the point that is a Q. Q is the point at the equatorial line. Now the distance from the center is Y. It makes theta, the point P, Q makes theta with the point P, that is plus Q, and same angle it makes minus Q also. Now the potential due to the plus charge plus Q by 4 epsilon 0 PQ is the distance from plus Q to point O. Similarly minus Q we can write total, we have to add, since it is minus negative charge is there, then we can write VQ is equal to Q by 4 epsilon 0 1 by PQ minus 1 by AQ. So now here the potential will be 0 if PQ is equal to AQ. So net electrostatic potential at a point, an electric field due to electric dipole at any point on the equatorial line is 0. Okay, equipotential surface. So what is equipotential surface? See the diagram. At a point, at every point which the potential due to charge distribution is same is called equipotential surface. For uniform electric field, here see the diagram, the points are equipotential surface. Now here V1, V2, V3 are have plane equipotential surface. Wherever we measure in this surface, the potential will be same for the particular surface. Okay, for isolated charge, here we have taken for isolated charge a small circle is there, then another circle is there. For every circle of the point, if you consider the points, the potential will be same. Okay, now the surface is defined as the point where have the equal potential surface, that is called equipotential surface. This is a spherical equipotential surface. Okay, this surface is an plane equipotential surface. in the spherical equipotential surface, in all points, there will be equal potential. Same amount of potential will be there in all points. In this surface, potential will be same. In this surface, potential will be same. Okay. Properties of equipotential surface. No work is done in moving a test charge from one point to another on an equipotential surface. Okay. Here we are having the definition expression like this, no? If A and B are 2 points on the equipotential surface, then potential will be same. Okay, then work done will be 0. The electric field is always perpendicular to the element dl of the equipotential surface. Okay, no work is done on equipotential surface, then the formula becomes like this. That is EDL cos theta becomes 0. Okay, then as E is not equal to 0 and DL is not equal to 0, then definitely the cos theta becomes 0. So no work is done on the equipotential surface, and also the electric field is always perpendicular to the element dl of the equipotential surface, because cos theta is equal to 0, then theta will be 90. Equipotential surface indicate regions of strong or weak electric fields. The electric field is defined as negative potential gradient. Here we are having the formula E is equal to minus dV by dr, or dr is equal to minus dV by E. Since dV is constant on equipotential surface, so dr is proportional to 1 by E. If E is strong, that is dr will be small. That is separation of equipotential surface will be smaller. So equipotential surface is crowded and vice versa. Two equipotential surface cannot intersect. If two equipotential surface intersect, then at the points of intersection there will be two values of electric potential, which is not possible. Okay. Equipotential is a scalar quantity, whereas potential gradient is a vector quantity. The negative sign of potential gradient shows the rate of change of potential with the distance is always against the electric field intensity. Electric potential energy. Work done in moving a charge Q from infinity to a point in the field against the electrostatic force is called electrostatic potential energy. W is equal to QV. Electrostatic potential energy of a two charge system. Now you consider A and B, the 2 points is having the charge Q1, Q2 respectively. They are away from the origin O or R1, R2 respectively. The distance between the A and B will be R2 minus R1. So now the potential energy of these two systems will be 1 by 4 epsilon 0 Q1 Q2 R2 minus R1, because the distance between these two will be R2 minus R1. So now we can write it Q1 1 by 4 epsilon 0 Q1 Q2 by R12. Here this is written as R12. Electrostatic potential of three charges system. Now we are going to see the three charges similar to the two charges. Now we are having three distance from A to B. It will be R2 minus R1, B to C R3 minus R2, and A to C it is R3 minus R1. Now if you want to calculate this potential electrostatic potential energy of this system, then we have to find the individual system, and we have to find the sum of these three charges, electrostatic potential energy. So U is equal to 1 by 4 epsilon 0 into Q1 Q2 by R12 plus Q1 Q3 by R31 plus Q2 Q3 by R32. Okay, electrostatic potential energy of an n charges system. By combining, by studying this the previous concept, we can write using this concept, using this formula. So 1 by 2. So here 4 epsilon 0 is taken. So summation I to 1 to n, summation j to 1 j is not equal to I to n qi qj by rj vector minus ri vector. Now we substitute this value, we can have similar formula. Area vector. Small area of surface can be represented by a vector. Here DES is smaller area in the surface S, then we are having the vector n vector. Okay. Now this direction of this small vector can be written as the magnitude of this value and n unit vector. So ds vector is equal to ts into n vector. This concept will be used in the electric flux. Okay, electric flux linked with any surface is defined as total number of electric lines of force that normally pass through that surface. Now we are having the surface S in the uniform electric field E. Now we are having surfaces in different angles. Here first ds, the small surface, is along with the electric field. Here the surface makes angle with the theta. Here this surface makes the angle with the 90 degree. Okay, similarly in different angles we are having the diagram. Okay, now the number of lines that crosses through the particular surface and then can be calculated by multiplying the electric field and the small area. Then we can have EDS cos theta. Electric flux over the whole surface S can be calculated using integrating these values. Then the formula becomes ES cos theta, then E dot S. Electric flux is a scalar quantity, but it is a property of vector field. Since SI unit of electric flux is Newton meter square per coulomb or joule meter per coulomb. Okay. Special case for 0 is less than theta is less than 90, then electric flux will be positive. For theta is equal to 90, pi is 0, electric flux is 0. Then 90 degree, theta is greater than 90 degree, then less than 180, then pi is negative. Solid angle. Solid angle is the three-dimensional equivalent of an ordinary two-dimensional plane angle. The SI unit of solid angle is steradian. Gauss theorem. The surface integral of electric field intensity over any closed hypothetical surface, that is called Gaussian surface in free space, is equal to 1 by epsilon 0 times the net charge enclosed within the surface. Now see the formula. So pi e is equal to closed integral E dot ds equal to 1 by epsilon 0, the summation of all charges, that is summation I equal to 1 to n qi. Proof of Gauss theorem for spherically symmetric surfaces. Now we have taken a surface, a charge is located at the center O, and a small surface ds taken at edges of this spherical surface from the distance of r. Okay. Now pi is equal to E dot ds. So then we have the formula 1 by epsilon say q by r squared r unit vector ds and n vector. Okay, now we can write this equation in this way. Then r unit vector n unit vector can be written as 1 into 1 cos 0 is equal to 1. Okay, now we can substitute the value 1 by 4 epsilon 0 q ds by r squared. So now it's a small t pi value. So total we want to calculate, then we have to integrate. Then 1 by 4 epsilon 0 q by r squared we got closed integral ds. So this is a circle. We have a formula 4 pi r squared. So 1 by 4 epsilon 0 q by r squared into 4 pi r squared. Now 4 pi get cancelled. Then we will have the formula q 4 pi r squared and 4 pi r squared get cancelled. Then we will have q by epsilon 0. Okay, application of Gauss theorem. Now we have taken a infinitely long straight charged wire. So this plus is infinitely charged wire. We consider the green color is a Gaussian surface. Is a closed surface around a charge distribution such that electric field intensity has a single fixed value at every point on the surface. Here, the electric field intensity value becomes a single fixed value at every point on the surface. It's a Gaussian surface definition. Okay. Now you consider the small surface TSA, then a surface B. Okay, which are acting on the edges and acting opposite to one another, A and B. And you consider the surface C, which is acting the 90 perpendicular to that surface. Okay. Now perpendicular to the now from the Gauss law we will have closed integral E dot ds q by epsilon 0. Now closed integral E dot ds equal to for the surface A, then surface B it can be written as, then surface C also written as. So the three sides there is an electric number of lines that passing through the surface. Okay, now we can have this is 90 degree because the ds is acting in this direction, electric field is acting down the direction, the angle between them is 90 degree. Similarly, B inside B also A and B will have 90 degree, so there will be no electric field. Then it's the center, so it acts along the electric field. The surface is along the electric field, then the angle between them is 0. So then EDS cos 0, then we will have E into ds. It is a 2 pi RL. The Gaussian surface is area of this surface can be calculated. Then E into 2 pi RL. Here, according to the Gauss law, we will have Q by epsilon 0. Then substitute this value, lambda L by epsilon 0. Lambda L, here lambda is equal to Q by L. Okay. Now E into 2 pi RL lambda L by epsilon 0. Here if you cancel this, if you modify the equation, we will E is equal to 1 by 2 by epsilon 0 lambda by R. Okay, E is equal to 1 by 4 epsilon 0 2 lambda by R. In vector form, we can write it E is equal to 1 by 4 epsilon 0 2 lambda by R into R unit vector. The direction of the electric field intensity is radially outward from positive line charge. For negative line charge, it will be radially inward. Electric field intensity due to an infinitely long thin plane sheet of charges. Here we have taken a thin plate sheet of charges is in the charge density sigma. Okay. The field lines remain straight, parallel and uniformly spaced. Now your Gaussian surface is considering. Here TS, it acts along the A side, DS is small surface acting along the E. And also another surface P is taken and it is also acting along the direction of E. Okay. Now the point C is acting 90 degree to the field E. Now according to the Gauss law, you have to calculate the force acting at the end of these two sides, and there will be no force acting along the direction of at the point C. Okay, now if you calculate, then we will have 2E ds, like this the formula we can get. Then 2E is a pi r squared. So surface is circle, no? So pi r squared, we can have the pi r squared. Then we will have sigma q by epsilon 0 according to the Gauss law, and sigma is the surface charge density. Then arranging this equation and substituting the value, we will have E is equal to sigma by 2 epsilon 0. So this is a very important concept. Electric field due to a thin plane sheet is equal to sigma by 2 epsilon 0. So in vector form we can write E is equal to sigma by 2 epsilon 0 and I vector. So the direction of the electric field intensity is normal to the plane and away from the positive charge distribution. For negative charge distribution, it will be towards the plane. Okay, E is equal to sigma by epsilon 0. Here we have taken plus sigma and minus sigma. The two charges, plane sheets are kept parallel to one another, and consider the region 1 and region 2 and region 3. Here region 1 and 3 lies outside the two parallel plates, and region 1 and 3 electric field becomes 0, and region 2 the electric field is not equal to 0. Okay, so then there will be a sum of the two charges, that is sigma by 2 epsilon 0 plus sigma by 2 epsilon 0. Then the total charge will act at the point at the region 2 will be is equal to sigma by epsilon 0. Okay, now you see the expression. So at the region 1 is a 0, region 2 sigma by 2 epsilon 0, and region 3 is equal to 0. Electric field intensity due to uniformly charged this spherical shell at the point